Hello, my name is Ricardo. I'm going to be telling you what I did on Friday the 3rd. And yeah, that's more as what we're doing. So on that lesson, we had Liz. Liz took us in a different room and we more or less just did like computer stuff. It was basically she basically taught us like stuff about like how to like not copyright people if we like copy an image or copy a text, because like in real life that is copyright and you can get in trouble for that. So yeah, she more or less just went through it, and like there was ways to like get. Basically, she showed us how to do it online, and she showed us how to do it like with books or newspapers and stuff like that. For example, I use Digital Theatre Plus, and I use Spark Notes or just anything like that online. But there's also times where I have to use a book, and trust me, the book is sometimes helpful because we have like a library in our college. So instead of me trying to find it, scour the internet to find it, I can always just go to the library and ask them, "Do you have a book which is to do with Croydon riots, for example?" They'll just give me that, and I can just find stuff on there, which is pretty simple. So I'll need like the author's name and just when this book was published, where the author's from, and all that sort of stuff. So it really wasn't too bad, and yeah, I found that lesson pretty simple, really. Next we had Gary for Active for Screen. we we were in the black room. We pushed all the chairs back to one side, and we basically it was a bit of a challenge because we weren't going to do something originally, but Gary scratched out because he found out this was this lesson and the next lesson is our final one, and he wants to have a talk with us for the final lesson. So basically, he said to us that, yeah, we're going to do something fun. So four people. So he basically gave us a example, like the series Friends. There's like you always get like the extras talking in the background, and when the camera focuses on them, I didn't mean to do that. That looks like the Illuminati sign. I'm not against that, but when the camera zooms in onto the people that are talking, the audience can hear their conversation. So what Gary wanted us to do was that four people, no, eight people. They have group. Well, there's eight people. They're split into twos. So two there, two there, two there, and two there. Basically, surrounded by just in the room or against the wall. Gary will. Well, they're facing each other, talking. And Gary will have his camera. He will be walking towards them, and basically, if he goes close to you, like if he's like in your direction, then the people who are they start talking loudly so the others can hear them, and everyone else around them is in silence. Like they can't speak, they can't even whisper because we can hear it. If Gary can hear it, that means we can hear it more or less. So yeah, so when Gary goes to another person, that person who was speaking, they mute, but they still carry on acting because you never know if Gary goes in a different angle and you just see them just stand there waiting for their cue. Like, no, you gotta stay in character, but just don't speak. So the next people start talking and then they'll just go on, etc., etc. So two people had to talk about something funny and just weird. The other two people will talk about, well, the two groups will talk about something funny and weird. The other two groups will talk about comedy, not comedy, dramatic stuff, which is like very serious and stuff like that. They'll basically just go on and stuff about like that. And yeah, that's more or less it, really. A group of people went up first, and I watched them. At first, it was hard for them because I did notice them like when the camera was not in their peripheral, they still started whispering, and we heard it. But it was just like a practice run, so I get that from people really. So they were more or less just whispering, and then we did it again. We switched and switched and switched and switched, and I more or less got the hang of it. And then when it was my turn, I was able to not well, I did mime because I think that was like the main thing which I did. Instead of like whisper, just mime what you're saying. It don't even have to make sense because me and my partner, when we started miming what we were saying, I did not understand a word I said, but I kind of did, judging by the way how she reacted and how her eyes were moving and how her mouth was moving. Like when she was going like, I can tell she's like angry, or she's going like I get like they're happy or something. Just the little stuff like their facial expressions, you can tell how they're feeling. So that was like kind of the key thing for me. And yeah, the whole experience, I'm more or less found it pretty great. I found it it was a challenge when it was a challenge because at one point I didn't know the camera was moving away from me, and I stopped talking, but I stopped just like a millisecond. But other than that, I think I'm fine. I'm aware when Gary's near me with the camera. I feel like I've got that now. Like I know when the camera's on me, and I can just carry on acting like it's basically not on me really. And yeah, other than that, I think I did great. And as a class, they did struggle, but they got there at the end. So that's more else I got to say. So yeah, see you later.